This is my carving knife collection. Not really a collection, but these are the tools I use the most for carving. This is pretty simple. I got this because it was cheap, just like all the rest of these knives I got, because they're cheap and they're decent quality for the money. I got into doing some stuff with scrap leather out of necessity, and it started with this Fiskars X7 hatchet. This does the trick for me. I'm sure there's much better hatchets you can get out there, higher quality hatchets and axes. I know there is much better quality than this, but for what I use it for carving spoons and just general processing, you know, grabbing wood to bring home and carve, this does the trick just fine. It's light, it's fairly small, and it's easy to sharpen. I got into leather. I bought some leather scraps so I can make a sheath for it, because this obviously doesn't come with any sort of protection for the blade, and that's how I made that, or that's why I made that. This guy, it's just, you know, pretty simple. The stitching's terrible because this is my first one. I used Gorilla Glue on the end, but it works. Next up, I would say, when I first started, this is all I had, was the Mora companion, and I got it in stainless steel because I didn't know much about, you know, which steels were the best to use. I got it in stainless, and it's a little harder to sharpen. It's much harder to sharpen than the carbon steel knives I have, but that's just the Mora companion in black. It's extremely comfortable. One of the most comfortable knives that I own. If you get one, I suggest putting a Ranger band. This is just a piece of inner tube, bike tire inner tube cut. It's very strong elastic. You know, keeps it from coming loose in the sheath. This is the Mora Companion HD. Sorry guys, I'm filming with one hand, trying to do the rest with my other hand, but yeah, this is the heavy duty companion. It's just fantastic. It's not as good for carving, really, for carving fine stuff, but you know, if you're gonna do batoning or something like that, this can handle it. It definitely can handle it. It's thicker spine. Scandi grind once again. This is very easy to sharpen. Very easy to sharpen. Comes with just the regular basic plastic Mora sheath, you know, that I played around with. I put a little fire steel, and I used a file to sharpen the spine, 90-degree spine. This is a Schrade knife. One of the first knives I got, just because it was so cheap. This is the Schrade, gosh, schf56LM, and L's for long, M is for micarta. And I just put these Ranger bands on the sheath because the sheath was coming loose a little bit, and the Ranger bands helped. And I took off the black powder coating that was on it. I didn't use any chemicals. I sanded it off, all by hand. Sanded off that powder coating, and I like it much better. It looks much better, in my opinion, than the black coating does. Just keep it clean, it won't rust, you know, wipe it off after each use. And this is incredibly easy to sharpen. It's 1095 high carbon steel. It's just really, really easy to sharpen. This is great for batoning. This is a tough knife. If you can see how thick the spine is. It's a tough knife. Great for you know, camping general task stuff. It's a decent chopper. It's a little small, but it's this the biggest knife I have. You know, other than, you know, if I'm really chopping, I just use the X7. But let me get on. This is another one. This is the Mora, Mora craftline basic Pro C, Mora Pro C craftline. It's just it's carbon steel, very easy to sharpen, stays very sharp. This is a great knife. I use this exclusively for my first spoons. I just love this knife. It's so cheap. It's $10 or something like that. It's just incredibly cheap and very decent. The handle's not as comfortable as a companion, for sure. Not as comfortable. But man, I love how tall it is. You know, from spine to cutting edge. I love that. It's taller than the companion. It's just, man, and it's so thin. It's very thin, thinner than the companion. Incredibly good for feather sticks and, you know, fine carving tasks. It works just great. I love this. I love this knife. I love the Moras in general. For me, I don't see any reason to really, you know, unless I win the lottery or something, I don't see any reason to buy any super expensive knife. When I really started getting into doing spoon carving a lot, I really started to love it, and something is, you know, I really think it'll be something I do for a very long time. It's so much fun. I started getting into the carving, the actual knives made for carving. My first one was this one, the Mora 106, which I made a little sheath for. But this is what I've been using, you know, the past few months. It's a wonderful knife. It's just great for carving. It's perfect for carving. I don't think you should use it for anything else. Just, you know, carving wood, whittling. Fantastic knife. Problem is, when I first got this, as you can see, my thumb still healing. I cut myself really bad. It's a little long. I think it's a little bit long. I don't think you need it to be this long, but you know, it's a great knife. It's just a great knife. Easy to sharpen, high carbon steel, Scandi grind. I love it. Then I got myself the spoon knife, the Mora 162, I believe it is. And you know, I couldn't get this in carbon at the time. It wasn't offered through. It would have taken forever to get here, so I just got it in stainless steel, which is a big mistake. It's harder to sharpen. You know, it doesn't hold an edge as long, but you know, it's decent. It does the trick. It does the job. You know, I'm not gonna show you all my spoons and stuff, but you know, this is one that's in the process of drying. You know, it does the trick. It does what you need it to do. I just love these wooden handle knives, and you know, this doesn't come with a cover or a sheath, so I made this thing to cover it. These are two magnets, earth magnets. That's what keeps it closed. It's really simple, and you know, just a little cover. This is the most recent knife right here. This is the Mora 120. And this is, out of all these, for carving, for spoon carving, for whittling, I mean, this is it. This is the one. It's perfect size. I think this is a wonderful knife. This 106, I think it's a wonderful knife, but I think it's for me, the way I use it, it's just, you know, you have to be more careful with this knife, and this is a safer version of that knife. Safer, lighter, more compact. This is perfect. This right here, just perfect. I also have the Mora Eldris, which is a small little. Yeah, and that's the Mora Eldris is perfect for carving. It's great for carving, but it's a little tall from spine to cutting edge. And this is it. You know, tell myself I don't need to get anything else for carving spoons for what I need to do. Obviously, we all know that I probably will get something else at some point, just because I love I love knives. But man, these are, I love Morakniv or Morakniv, however you pronounce it. I just think they're making it these knives available to anyone because of the price. You know, $20 or something, 30 bucks at the most for one of these wooden handle ones, and I just love them. I love it. That's all I need. Carving spoons and whittling away your stress, really. That's it, guys. Just wanted to show my little collection, minus the Eldris and the Opinel. The Opinel I use a lot for carving. It's really thin, fine blade. I don't really need to show it, but that's the Opinel. It's fine blade and it works well, but this is the one. This is the best one of the bunch. Mora 120. Alright guys, that'll be it.